goes to Gerald Everett, who shows off the fancy footwork. That's the game-winning touchdown.
Man, great play call by Sean McVay. Isolating the tight end out on one of my favorite guys in pass coverage.
Daniel Sorensen, back from injury.
And Goff flights this ball just perfect right over his outside shoulder. Clutch. Way to finish out the game, Jared Goff. What's going on in California with the wildfires? You know, his dad is a firefighter.
Yeah.
More from this game. Samson Ebukam with the interception, and he will not be denied from finding the end zone.
This is a game of a career for this guy.
Yes.
Pick six, recovered fumble interception, hit Mahomes' arm on the biggest play of the game when the Chiefs were down 3 driving.
Forcing him inside, yep.
And then on the next interception, forced him inside, led to another pick. He was spectacular in this football game.
That's what the Rams need. If you look at outside, can they get some playmakers? His playmaking ability was the difference in the game.
Nobody saw that part of the game coming.
Finally, little Duke basketball. Zion Williamson with the steal, and watch the windmill dunk.
This was on in the afternoon. I feel like Joel Embiid was watching this early in the day.
Yeah, it came on at 4:30.
And said to his teammates, oh, I'm going to do that if I get a chance.
Yep.
He got rimmed on it. This, Zion. A quiet game for Zion. 13 points, a little foul trouble line there, blowing the opponent out. Quietest college game yet for him. Still got that in there.
Man, he's a ridiculous talent. Get used to this. Get used to seeing him dunk on some people for at least this year. Next year, NBA.
Yeah.
On to the Warriors, who have lost 3 games in a row and 4 of their last 5. What do all 5 have in common? No Steph Curry. He's still hurt. As is the team, apparently, after the Durant-Draymond tiff last Monday. Steve Kerr says his team got a much-needed dose of reality.
I've had a dream run for 4.5 years. We've had such a charmed existence in the last 4 seasons. So, yeah, of course, this is the toughest stretch we've been in. This is the real NBA. We haven't been in the real NBA in the last few years. We've been in this this dream, and so now we're faced with real adversity, and got to get out of it ourselves.
Nick, I would imagine you had an interesting reaction to Kerr's comments.
I don't know so much of it's the real NBA as it is the NBA for the Warriors without Stephen Curry. We can go back to last year. In the last 2 years with Steph, they're 51-12. Without him, they're 19-18. 19-18 on a team that has had Kevin Durant, has had Klay Thompson. I understand this year Draymond's missed some of these games as well with injury and suspension, but they've had Draymond Green. For some reason. And it's one that I imagine has to do with the fact that the Warriors' entire identity is built around the gravity Steph has on the defense and the selflessness that Steph plays with. They play beneath their talent level without him, more so than any team that I would expect with that other superstar level of talent, because that's not what they look like without Durant. Without Durant, they're not as good as they are with him. But without Durant, they still win 2 out of every 3 games. They're still one of the best teams in basketball. And so, yeah, it is the real NBA. And they're going to play in the real NBA like they did last year for 31 games without Steph Curry.
Yeah, we had a conversation when we started the season, the Warriors, how would their season go? I said I thought they would struggle before they got Boogie Cousins, before they get him, because I think that in trying to repeat, they're going to face what I knew were unseen obstacles out there, that being either injuries. I didn't think it would be the turmoil inside, but the attrition with this team, number of playoff games, somebody had to get hurt. They've been remarkably healthy in this string, so I thought that they would struggle. I thought they struggled to be able to win 65 games like that. I didn't think that they would be as special as they've been, and that's what we're going to see. Steph is a special basketball player, and I'm glad. They go to their job. Their job's hard, just like everyone else. It's better for the NBA. It's not good for the NBA that they continue to dominate. But there's no team in the NBA, there's no owner would say, you know something, I'll trade my situation for your situation. The Warriors have the best situation, and everyone is envious of that, and it will still be the same result at the end of the season, Jenna.
And going into the year, I did think this team could, assuming health, and that they could win 70-plus games. And They were 10-1 going into the game Steph Curry got hurt. They lost that game, and they've now lost 4 of 6 since then. He's the one guy they can't play without. The one guy. Now, they wouldn't be a 70-plus win team if they lose any of the other guys for a substantial amount of time, but they wouldn't be below 500. They wouldn't be a team that is struggling to score the way they are. Steph is the most important guy on the team. I do not care who the best guy on the team is anymore, because it really only matters within the confines of your team who has the biggest impact on winning, and it's Steph by a mile.
Knowing what kind of impact Steph Curry has on the team, does that alter the course of maybe what Kevin Durant does, and now how you feel about what Kevin Durant does? Maybe it's not as crucial that the Warriors keep him, knowing who is the most vital part of the team?
I'm not going to get into who's the most vital and everything. I don't think it has anything to do with Kevin Durant and what he's going to do. Kevin Durant was never commissioned to be in Golden State for the rest of his career. Like, he was only going to come there for a certain period of time. What is that period of time? 3, 4, 5 years? I never thought, people in the basketball world never thought that he would retire there. As far as him, Steph, being that much better or more important, I don't think it's really that important for me to try to determine that. They are not. The reason why they're special is because everything that they have. And if they lose any piece of it, Draymond's been nicked up. Draymond's playing the worst basketball. So now you have one of their stars hurting, and Draymond's not playing well. So if that was Steph, if that was Clay, if it was KD, they would still be suffering.
In my response to your question, Jenna, I think while I don't think it will have an effect on Kevin Durant's decision, I do think that if and when, and it's more when than if, Kevin Durant leaves, the Warriors with this team minus Durant, still a championship contender. Like, I do not think the Warriors, who were a contender before Durant got there, if they lose him, all of a sudden go to that next tier of teams. They just join, as Kerr's talking about, then they will once again be in the real NBA, where there's a half dozen teams that have a real shot at a championship. They'll be one of them, as opposed to minus 250 favorites against the entire rest of the league combined.
And a lot of people think that would make the NBA better.
Yeah,
a little bit
more compelling.
Coming up, are the Rams looking like the class of the NFL after their monster win last night? Next on First Things First.